PMG Radio. Respect your jaw.
I don't want to spend too much time on this, but salute to all of them out there, man. And stay strong, London. Keep fighting. Salute to everybody in Manchester. Stay strong. Keep fighting. Trust me, we've been through 9/11 over here. We know what it is. So stay up, stay strong, stand tall. You know what I mean? Jason Whitlock, man. A lot of people been wanting to hear us chime in on this one. All right, so this is what we're going to do. So the listeners can have a full understanding of what's going on. We're going to play the clip. We're going to play some of the clip. I want y'all to hear it for yourselves, and then we'll give y'all our 2 cents on it. All right? So whenever you're ready.
Racism is an issue
let's get it.
in America. It's a real issue, and it has real negative impact, particularly on poor people. LeBron James just experienced some disrespect. But what impact does it really have on him? Feelings may be hurt. I don't know. He wasn't there. This is a second home. I think the analogy to Emmett Till is ridiculous. Emmett Till lost his life brutally in the 1950s over nothing. And to somehow, my mind went there because in my $20 million second home in Brentwood, someone spray painted something that my staff cleaned up within hours and the police investigated, I'm sure. It's not analogous to Emmett Till. LeBron, to me here, is embracing his victimhood. It's a mistake. What happened to him was disrespectful. But again, this is not the racism that needs to be stamped out in America. This is an inconvenience for LeBron.
To me, it would have been easy for LeBron to pass on it. And this is where, in the media, we're very critical of athletes.
We good? We back? Yo. So y'all heard that was Jason Whitlock from Fox Sports 1. That was his take on LeBron James having the word nigger spray painted on his home in L.A. I mean, in Brentwood. Well, I think Brentwood is in L.A., but whatever. You know what I mean? Because it's like L.A., but then it's like subdivision of L.A. Whatever. But, yeah. Okay. Where do we start? I'm going to let JC kick it off.
Let me start.
Let me let Sizzle kick this one off.
Yo. Okay. So, first thing he's doing is that somehow he's deflecting the blame to the victim. Like, the victim is responsible for being victimized. Like, first of all, that's fucked up. You don't do that. Second of all, he stated that, I don't know if he went that far, but he was like, if you're rich, you can't experience racism. Like,
yeah.
I mean, I've heard stories of Oprah talking about going through racism, like, and people trying to clean it up after they find out who she is. Like, we can't change that we're black. You see that on sight. Like, you deal with that every day, no matter how rich you are. Like, you think racism is the reason there's only one NBA owner? And the NBA is entirely, like, black players for the most part, like 80%, 70%. Like, that's not just happenstance. Like, that's systemic racism. So he's trying to minimize it, like, oh, you're rich, so you got a $20 million home, we fucking burn it down. You get another home, you're fine. Right. But if I make $20,000 a year and you burn down my home, then it's racism. Like, so why does it have a connection to the amount of money you make? Like, money doesn't justify right or wrong, fat fuck.
And that was the gist of what he was saying. He was saying that racism only affects poor minorities. It doesn't affect rich black people. The sheer ignorance behind that is preposterous and insane, especially coming from a black man. And you know what? I hate the word coon. I don't like using that word, but this is some coon shit, man.
I've been trying to think of new words to use.
No, this was some real coon shit, man. For him to be, and you know, not only has he said it, he hasn't backtracked from it. I've been watching his tweets for the past few days. He has stood by these statements.
Check his history. This is what he do.
And you know, one thing, and you know, this is what makes it so fucked up about the fight against oppression that we're dealing with today, is that us as people of the same skin color can't even fucking agree what we're fighting against. It's like you get 10 black people in a room and ask them what exactly is the cause that we're trying to stop and get, or what are we trying to change for the betterment of our people? You'll probably get 8 different answers. You understand? And that's one of the biggest problems that we're dealing with. That's why I'm not too keen on the whole, let's go out there and march and protest thing, because we don't even know what the agenda is.
Yeah, you need an agenda.
You understand what I'm saying? Like, we don't even know what we're marching against. You stand out there when the people ask them, what are we marching against? And you'll get so many different answers.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's the biggest problem that we're dealing with right now. And that's what I took the most from what he was saying, was the fact that as a black man who can admit that racism is a problem, he admitted that. He admitted it's a problem, and he admitted it's a big issue in this country. You understand what I'm saying? But yet, you feel like there's a line where it stops for certain black people because of how much money they got in their bank account? That is insane to me, yo. What you think, Eliza?
You know what? I think that...
Devil's advocate. Let's go.
No devil's advocate today. I do not support the coons. But what I will say is this. I feel like the fact that it's a rich person experiencing it is actually, evidence that no matter what class you're in, no matter how much money you make, you are still not exempt from any type of racist act or racist experience, period. So to me, it's like, wow, somebody who's making that much money, who has so much success, regardless of that, he can still be a victim. So to me, it's the opposite. It's the other way around. It's showing that status doesn't mean crap. There's just racism.
No, hell, let me tell you something. I don't give a fuck how much money you got or who you are. To somebody who's a bigot, who is a racist, who is prejudiced, who does not like black people, you are a nigger just like every other nigger walking this earth to them. Period.
So
there's no changing that.
That just shows that, though. That just shows that, once again, no matter how rich you are, you can...
I mean, he's a rich nigger, but still a nigger. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like,
You're going to add that on.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I mean, if you want to give it a title, you know what I mean? But it doesn't change. Victoria, what do you think?
Pretty much the same thing that Jay-Z said, really. If the shoe was on the other foot, if Whitlock's house got vandalized and someone written nigger on the front of it, because of where he's at, does that mean, oh no, it's fine, let's just paint it over and it's not an issue? I just think he's an idiot. And I've seen other interviews that he's done in the past.
Yeah, that's what he does.
And he's just not all there.
Yeah.
I don't know why he's got a microphone or a platform.
That's why he has a microphone.
Well, you got to also remember, it is Fox. You gotta remember, it is Fox. And Fox tends to have this protocol of giving black people who have that kind of sentiment a platform.
Right. That should be working for them soon then, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
I think she was already... Yeah,
she was on Fox?
Yeah, no, she was briefly during the whole time Trump was running, I think, the campaign, and then she got fired.
But, we got to remember, like I said, this man, like I said, and I know who he is. I just didn't know too much about his history until this came up, because you see a bunch of things all day, every day, but certain headlines grab you. Like, it's like, whoa, right. Did he really say that? You understand what I'm saying? Then you got to listen to it and get even more thrown back because of, someone who shares this. Like I said, it was just insane to me that he can understand and vocalize how serious racism is against black people, but yet fall short of saying somebody who's rich and black can deal with it also. Like, I didn't know racism had levels. Like, I didn't know racism had a monetary status to it.
He was supposed to be on ESPN was supposed to do this thing a couple of years ago where it's supposed to be like an editorial from like the African American perspective. I forgot what it was supposed to be called, but he was supposed to be one of the writers. It was him and somebody else. And he just couldn't get his shit together. Like, he's the reason the shit didn't get off the ground. Like, because of his views. Like, his viewpoints was totally not aligned with what they were trying to get across. And the shit just got scrapped altogether. Like, that's what I'm saying. He has a history of this. Like,
and it's not like LeBron was like, oh, woe is me. At the end of the day, they asked him a question about it. Do you know what I mean? They asked him in his press conference. They asked him, and he just answered the question. You see what I'm trying to say? It's not like he was running around crying. Like, he was like the victim, embracing the victim. I'm like, he was just showing us that he can.
And the way he handled it was amazing. By the way,
exactly.
Like when he's, you know what, it would have been so easy for him to deflect and say, you know what, I'm not gonna let that be a distraction. I'm in the championship right now. I'd rather focus on that. But he took that issue head on. He expressed how he felt about it, and he was honest about what's going on, about how tough it is to be a black person probably in the world right now. I don't want to just speak for America, because I hear the stories from, I was just talking to my man in Amsterdam. He telling me what's going on over there right now, to where how they're being pushed out of certain neighborhoods and stuff. You understand what I'm saying? So, one thing we share is this skin color,
Right.
and that's universal. Ain't a dollar amount in the world we could get away from that.
Right.
Period.
Nothing we could do to change that shit. No matter how
I think
much
Chris
we make.
Chris Rock probably said the realest shit I ever heard.
I know exactly where you're going.
He said, "It ain't a white person in this room that would trade places with my black ass, and I'm rich."
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? That just lets you know what it is. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's just you know, and I listened to that probably about 10 times, and I try to give him the benefit of the doubt. I try to maybe I'm hearing it the wrong way. Maybe I'm just taking it too personal. You know, I really try to like give the brother the benefit of the doubt, man. And it's really no getting around what he's trying to say, huh?
Don't waste your time
He's
with it.
basically what he is. So to me, it's so.
It's almost like a
horrible,
shock
it's so
jock.
sad because you're basically saying that once black people become rich, they have to deny themselves. Like they know their feelings no longer count. They're no longer valid. Like that's like you're basically isolating them. Do you know what I mean from their
Right.
race and basically saying, well, you're not black anymore. You don't go through the
Oh,
same.
yeah.
stuff. You know what I'm trying to say? Like that's so. If I mean, that's,
He was against the Kaepernick thing. Like he was the one talking crazy shit about Kaepernick. So I was like, this is ridiculous. Then him trying to say like the Emmett Till thing, like LeBron, like anyone with any sense knows LeBron wasn't comparing what happened to Emmett Till. He was saying shining the spotlight on the repercussions of like the racism.
Right, the
Not
same thing
that
I was doing last week.
my house is the same way as it. Like no, you idiot. Like I know you're smarter than that. Like so him trying to undermine it like that, like that's what really made me upset. Because I'm like, you're trying to play me like we're stupid. Like that was that dumb. Like we know LeBron was just saying like it happened to me has the same, like it's shining the same impact on the problem as Emmett Till mother having an open casket, so y'all could see what racism does. Like what?
And he was also putting the fact of the matter is how all this years later we're still dealing with the same bigotry and hatred that they were dealing with back then. You understand what I'm saying?
That anymore, but
Exactly.
like
And at the end of the day, the person, okay, you want to say they just vandalized his house. At the end of the day, the fact that they did it just means that this is a hateful person. The person went out of their way to vandalize his house, meaning that in another situation, if he was able to catch another, a black vulnerable person, there's no telling what they would do.
Right.
The point is, they have enough hate to carry out an act like that, which means to me, they have enough hate to carry out any other type of act. You know what I mean? So
I think the neighborhood he was in definitely. I think they said when Bron came, you know, how he rolls.
Yeah.
He rolls with his team. Like
Oh,
they're all
yeah.
black, like most of them. Are like
Oh
black.
yeah,
And I'm sure that rubbed some people the wrong way when he came in.
the most famous basketball player in the world with his team of black men
Young black
who's
successful.
all he's made millionaires
They hate that.
and they're all doing great things in the world. Yeah, you hate that shit. Hell yeah, that shit is probably annoying. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? So you
You're
know,
not supposed to have this.
yeah. So you know, it's definitely you know, it's a bit heartbreaking to hear these things today, like today from somebody who shares the same skin color we do. Right. You understand what I'm saying? Like I said, man, the feeling you would get from anybody to come home and see that, even if you didn't see it yourself, just to hear about it. Right. I'm pretty sure that doesn't change based on the dollar amount you got in your bank account.
no, it's still the same violation.
Right.
It's a violation.
You know what I mean? So, God bless his soul. I hope somewhere down the line he finds it in his heart to really understand what he said was beyond reprehensible, and it was a slap in the face to a lot of us out here. You understand what I'm saying? So you know, like I say, your money you can't escape who you are based on money.
And to me, I mean, I don't know, you know, I mean, where he stands financially, but I'm sure that he's got a lot more money than the average, black person walking around. So if something like that happens to him because he's making more money than the next man, is it okay? Would we be able to brush it off if it happened to him? Like, I wish somebody would ask him that question.
In all fairness, though, Chris Broussard did get in his ass. So shout out to Chris Broussard. If you watched the whole video.
Yeah, Broussard is.
Yeah, Broussard did get in his ass over it. You know what I mean?
Like Broussard,
You know-
he's like a Pan-Africanist.
You know, I mean, you know, he a little bit lighter than I like to see most activists,
Yeah,
but it's all right. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying?
He's about that. Bro.
Word up. No, but Broussard did take, like I said, as anybody was sitting up there who got any kind of morals and principles of being black, he took it personal. I would have took it personal
He's the
too.
only other black person up there, right?
That was one other dude. He was a little bit more coy about it. I mean, he chimed in at the end, but you know, especially what made it even worse too, the fact that he said it in front of a white person. You know, what's his name? Coward.
That's what
Coward.
he's trying to protect us. You got to make him comfortable.
Yeah. Like, come on, man. Like, that shit is insane, yo. So, check it out, man. Look it up online. It's on PMG Vids. Check it out, you know what I mean? And, the comment, you got to read the comments on there. They digging his ass, too, you know what I mean? So.
His house is probably going to get vandalized. I hope no one finds out where he lives. Seriously.
Oh, man, yo. Probably next week we'll talk about the power of the N-word, and I want to talk about how we need to take away the power of that word. You know what I mean? I feel like for far too long we've let that word infuriate us, and it's time to put an end to that shit. You understand what I'm saying?